show you.
I'm not saying we'll cut the revenue for these businesses. I'm saying that the amount of
You
money...
have no choice, though, because you're paying these guys. You need the revenue.
No. I'm not suggesting we cut revenue for businesses. What I am suggesting is after that revenue comes in and we divvy up and I have my net profits, then my taxes would go up. But I will say this, like if, let's say, the taxes went up on me personally, would I stop going on YouTube? No.
So would you be able to scale it how many employees you got working for you right now?
I'm not talking about cutting revenue.
I get that. How many employees are working for you right now?
We have payroll, I think, like 6 or 7.
Okay, you got
people.
that's a small business you got there, right?
Sure.
6 or 7 people. Okay. If all of a sudden AdSense went up, the fees for your Patreon, I don't want to offend you when I say Patreon. I don't know who you use. Whoever you use that's got your membership stuff that you got.
We use Fans FM.
Okay, there you go. That's a shout out to them. So Fans FM,
Right
Fans
there.
FM?
Fans.fm. It's actually a great service.
Okay, fantastic. So if they raise
They take less than Patreon.
if they take 50% all of a sudden, and they say YouTube says AdSense goes to 15%, would you be able to employ those 6 people?
No, if my well, I don't know, but probably
Maybe that's because you're rich.
No, probably not. But I'm not suggesting that we cut revenue for businesses. I'm suggesting that what is left over from revenue, if it's over $3 million that goes into the pocket of the owner of this enterprise, that $300 million and $1 gets taxed
Let's
at
have fun with this.
90 cents.
I have watched Patrick for a very long time now, and I think he's someone who is very, very intelligent. He invites both liberals and conservatives. So he is someone who has an open mind. And I also love the fact that when he asks a question, he gives the guest the time to respond. And he just listens. Unlike my favorite person, P.S. Morgan, whom when you are saying anything that he is against, he's just going to interrupt you and start asking you more questions or just talking over you. P.S. is like that. But I think Patrick gives the guest the time to explain him or herself. This whole conversation was so funny because Sam was explaining something, but it looks like Patrick wasn't getting it, or maybe he was pretending not to get it. Now, I don't want to undervalue Patrick's intelligence, like he doesn't understand what Sam was saying. But then again, I don't want to think that, or I don't want to believe that he was just trying not to accept what Sam was saying on air. You know, sometimes if you are somebody with certain beliefs and culture, it's difficult for you to change your position or your point on air. You might change it in private, okay, where no one is going to see you, right? But it's really difficult for you to do that on air because you have taken a position and you do not want your friends or people who share the same view as you to see you taking side with those they consider their opponent. So I understand this whole situation very well. But I'm not saying that might be the case why Patrick was so, I don't know, it wasn't denial, but he was quite confused about the whole situation. And if there's one thing that conservatives or Republicans hate, is taxes. They hate taxes. You can see how Sam was taking his time and carefully explaining the whole thing to Patrick and his co-host. Yet still, Patrick was unable to get it. Sam was like, we are not going to tax your entire income. we are only going to tax your profit, which means that after you receive your income and after you pay all your staffs and after you deduct everything as expenses, the profit you make will be taxed after a certain amount. It's quite simple. I guess even at 10 years will understand, right? That when you get your monthly revenue and when you must have paid all your employees and your bills and everything that is as company expenses, whatever that is left over as profit will be taxed when it exceeds a certain amount. It is really straightforward. And Patrick was asking that if that be the case, how can you expand? If that be the case, how can you keep your company growing? If that be the case, how can you pay your employees? And Sam was like, I am not saying they should tax your income. I am saying they should tax your profit. The amount of revenue you receive at the end of the month is not what is going to be taxed. What is going to be taxed is your profit after all your deduction. At this point, I was just laughing because I watched the entire 2 hours podcast. It was quite entertaining. But at this point, I was just laughing because Patrick couldn't just let this go and totally didn't get what Sam was saying. I think that people should pay their fair share. If you have a business that brings in income and profit, your profit should be taxed when it exceeds a certain amount. Everybody must pay their fair share. If you realize in our society, right, the wealth gap between the poor and the rich is so wide. Like the rich are up here and the poor are like down here. It's really wide and it's getting wider by the day. But you guys out there, what do you think about Sam's proposal? Do you share his view that the rich should be taxed? Let us know in the comment section below because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, please do not forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel because little bit of good way, like the one you are doing just now, help us a lot and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.